It's me, Luigi! Welcome to episode 24 of Retro Buyer's Guide. Happy Halloween, guys! This week we're going to be taking a look at spooky games to play for Halloween. Spooky retro games. And number one on the list,
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 is my personal favorite in this series, and while it was released on several platforms, the Nintendo 64 version is the one I'm going to talk about here. It's somewhat of a technical marvel on the console. For one, it includes full-motion video sequences despite being on a cartridge.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down! We can't stay out here. Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer.
Even though it was released on 2 discs for the PlayStation, developers at Capcom were able to cram it into one 64-megabyte cartridge. And it even has extras not found in other versions. For instance, you have the ability to change the color of blood, the degree of violence, and use alternate costumes. It also supports the expansion pack for a max resolution of 480i during gameplay, although the resolution will change back and forth between 240p and 480i depending on which screen you're at. All in all, Resident Evil is a pretty fun game, and though the N64 version is not the best, it's definitely one worth checking out.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
What can I say about this classic that hasn't already been said? Symphony of the Night is the Castlevania game for many fans of the series, ushering in the dominant Metroidvania genre the series would come to be known for in the years following its release on the PlayStation. You play as Dracula's son Alucard, who returns from the third game on the NES on a mission to find Richter Belmont after he disappeared following Dracula's defeat in Rondo of Blood. The game features some RPG elements, but it's really about exploration. The size of this game is huge. I know the first time I played it, I had no idea there was a second upside-down castle to explore. Along the way, you'll gain the ability to transform into a bat, a werewolf, and a fog of mist, which will allow you to gain access to new parts of the castle you can explore. But perhaps the single best thing about Symphony of the Night to me is the excellent soundtrack composed by Michiru Yamane. It adds so much to the gameplay and features elements of everything from techno to thrash metal to jazz. If you're new to the Castlevania series, this is definitely the game that I would recommend. Classic Castlevania games are fun in their own right, but this is a game that deserves to be experienced.
Silent Hill 2.
I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for someone.
You gotta love that voice acting. Silent Hill 2 is widely regarded as one of the best survival horror games ever released. You play as protagonist James Sunderland, who comes to Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his dead wife saying she wants to meet him in their special place. Shortly after arriving, James is joined by Maria, who bears a striking resemblance to his late wife. What I love about this game is the way the story unfolds. As you play, you discover that James is maybe not who he thinks he is. The more things he learns, the more he unravels until he finally uncovers the sinister truth behind his wife's death. And it's apparently because of a dog pulling some levers in a room somewhere. But in all seriousness, Silent Hill 2 is a great game and I highly recommend it.
Is it dead? What the hell is it?
It's not human.
Night Trap.
Night Trap is one of the most infamous games released on the Sega CD. It was part of a plethora of full-motion video games released on the platform, and also helped spur the creation of the Entertainment Software Ratings Board when it drew the ire of U.S. Senator Joe Lieberman during the 1993 congressional hearings on violence in video games.
Instead of enriching a child's mind, these games teach a child to enjoy inflicting torture.
But let's save that for a future video. The gameplay revolves around switching between 8 different cameras to catch these things, vampire-like creatures called augurs. When they are near a trap and you have the correct access code selected, you can capture them. You can also watch delightfully campy acting sequences like these teenage girls dancing and singing along to the Night Trap theme.
So, Sarah, we're in this huge house with all your friends. We have telephones, we have a car, your parents are gone, and you say so?
Come on, Sarah, what's the first thing you think of?
Party! Music!
Okay, I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. The problem with this game is that you constantly need to be switching cameras to catch augurs, and if you watch that whole sequence, you've already missed setting off a bunch of traps. Not to mention, the color of the access code keeps changing, and if you don't overhear them telling you what the new color is, you're screwed. Oh, and the access code color changing is random. So in conclusion, it's more fun to watch the game than play. Just don't be surprised if you get this guy yelling at you when you get a game over.
And the rest of those girls. From what I've just seen, the place is being overrun. You've missed way too many of those suckers. Until you figure out how to do your job, you're dismissed. Breaking contact.
Luigis Mansion.
I always thought Professor Egad talked like an Ewok. The final game on my list is Luigi's Mansion. It was the first game in the Mario franchise to be released for the GameCube, and it was somewhat of an unexpected surprise. After Luigi wins a mansion in a contest, he goes to claim it. He soon learns that it's haunted, and his brother Mario is missing. Using the Poltergust 3000 and the Game Boy Horror, Luigi must find and trap all of the ghosts that occupy the mansion to find his brother. Luigi's Mansion doesn't play like a typical Mario game at all, and that's a good thing. I almost feel like the GameCube controller was designed with this game in mind, as you use the left thumbstick to control the flashlight to stun the ghost, and the C-stick to pull in the ghost as you capture them. The mechanic feels great as you make your way through the 5 stories of the mansion. All in all, Luigi's Mansion is one of my favorite games on the GameCube, and an excellent addition to anyone's collection.
Well, that's it for Retro Buyer's Guide this week. I had to lose the mustache. It was malfunctioning, not working correctly. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. 5 spooky games to play for Halloween. And I'll be back again next week with a new video. Until then, take care and happy collecting.